So, after what seems like forever, we're finally finished up with the desert. Yeah, we need to be sure to heal at the doctor before we leave, though, obviously. And now it's time to actually stop getting sidetracked and head to our actual destination, Nimbasa City. At least this is only one of the only real side areas at this point in the game, so, you know, it pays to kind of do this now. And a lot of the Pokemon we caught there are going to be really helpful in the next gym, so, yeah. Anyway, we are back on Route 4, the semi-urbanized desert, which is kind of weird, I always found, but that worker sentry's still there. Let's just see if I can sneak past him. Come on, turn around. Come on, you know you want to. You know you want to. Oh, damn it! Still not sure if I ran there. Yeah, if you try and run past them, they will automatically turn to face you, but, I'm still not sure I did. I think I just got really unlucky when he turned around. Anyway, one timber is pretty much nothing, so, I can just get through this kind of quickly, except that Petalil doesn't exactly like Sandstorm. Good thing I chose, yeah, good thing I chose Leech Seed then. Really what I should do here is just put it to sleep and then stall, because, again, you don't want to be hit by Bide. And this should cancel out the Sandstorm damage, so maybe I do kind of like Sandstorm, especially since it's damaging him, but again, I get my damage healed. And put him to sleep just so he can't use the actual, Bide, attack, the attack part of Bide. Anyway, your HP goes down, my HP goes up. Is there really anything more I have to say here? I think I can safely use Giga Drain, I wish. Mega Drain here, and I critical anyway. And, not quite down, except Sandstorm finishes the job. I love it when that happens. Anyway, right, so he's out of the way, and hopefully that should be the last trainer battle before the next city. Yeah, that was kind of annoying. See, this is the reason why I've been deliberately avoiding most of the trainers. Something I do better than anybody, huh? The first thing that comes to mind is getting unlucky criticals in Fire Emblem. Seriously, that is actually the first thing that comes to mind. Which is kind of sad. But anyway, okay, I think that guy battles you, so I might just dodge around him. And right here we have the top part of Route 4, which, yeah, if you play Black and White 2, you'll probably get to know this part quite a lot, because it's where the Joint Avenue is. It's hard to imagine such a big structure is, you know, right here. And anyway, we've got a meeting with the professor. And apparently the professor doesn't know enough about electric-type Pokemon, and what are we getting here? Oh, Ultra Balls. That's useful. We should save a few of these, especially since there are actually quite a few decent Pokemon to catch nearby. So yeah, like she says, if you find a Pokemon at this point that is kind of tough and you really, really want to get it, yeah, you want to use one of those Ultra Balls. I'm pretty sure you can't buy them yet. I neglect the Pokédex all the time. Again, I have never cared about Pokédex completion, so, yeah. So, yeah, character development, plot reasons, you know, why do these kids get Pokédexes? Huh, okay, so, this adventure started because the main character's mothers just wanted to get them out of the house. That's, interesting. Wait a minute, you're already on Route 4. What wouldn't you have caught on Route 4? There's only, like, what, 4 things you can get there? Anyway. So, once again, this place is kind of strange because, Joint Avenue is actually here in Black and White 2, so, yeah, and this is actually a flyable location there, so you'll actually get used to this place quite a lot there. But, this isn't Black and White 2. This is Black and White 1. And, once again, that, attendant there is saying completely useless stuff. So, let's just check out this here. So, feverish okay. Yeah, there are a lot of battles to be found in Nimbasa City, so, suffice to say, it's one of my favourite places in the game, at least in the original Black and White. yeah, we'll find out about the small court and stuff like this. There's actually quite a lot to do in Nimbasa City, not nearly as much as Castalia, and fortunately the city isn't anywhere near as big. And then they talk about the Battle Subway here, which is this game's equivalent of the Battle Tower. I like the nice spin of originality there. I'll show you that, but I won't actually be using it in this playthrough, because, yeah, with non-EV trained Pokemon, it's kinda tricky to use. I don't know, maybe in the post-game I might try and beat the subway bosses, but anyway. So, right here in Nimbasa City, and just when we're getting to experience the music, suddenly, Team Plasma! Yeah. But, well, looks like this is a quest we certainly could get behind, because this guy runs the daycare. Yes, if we don't save this guy, we will never be able to breed Pokemon, and that is just horrible. So, that doesn't even bear thinking about. Breeding is practically my life when it comes to Pokemon games, so we really need to save this guy. Fortunately, we were right here in the right place at the right time. So, yeah, let's go save the daycare man. Yeah, I'd like to see you try. Plasma! Sorry. And we have, okay, 2 Pokemon. Yes, the Grunts have started to take a step up from Patrat. They're now using Watchhog. Except it still kinda sucks. But you've always got to remember the Watchhogs, yeah. Watchhog's MO is basically being really, really annoying. So yeah, Sand Attack, oh, I'm really glad that at least it actually hit. Things like Sand Attack, Confuse Ray, Hypnosis. Later on in the game, they learn another move that makes them even more irritating, as if that was impossible. But fortunately, fighting types make quick work of them. That's pretty much all. Correction! Fighting types make quick work of them, provided they don't get Hypnosis. You know, one thing I was just thinking, yeah, Hypnosis is a Psychic type move, and sorry, I've just been... Okay, that's weird, you're using a Dark move on me. Anyway, it's just that I've been playing Persona recently, where, certain kinds of non-damaging moves actually still follow elemental properties, and, would be kinda interesting if Pokemon did that and Hypnosis had a higher chance of hitting fighting types because of the type advantage, but, that might make it a little too broken, if I'll be honest. Speaking of which, in the Pokemon games, the only status move that actually follows type laws is apparently Thunder Wave. Yeah, I mean, you'd think Glare wouldn't hit Ghost types, but, let me just check for a second. Yeah, so according to my very reliable sources, they don't actually mention anything about Glare not working on Ghost types. And they do specifically mention Thunder Wave not working on ground types, so, I guess that is true, Thunder Wave is the only, because I'm pretty sure Hypnosis does work on Dark types, so it definitely doesn't follow type laws, but Thunder Wave is apparently the only status move that does, which, ironically means that, if a Delcatter uses it with Normalize, then its Thunder Wave doesn't work on Ghosts. But anyway, we have a Trubbish here. This may or may not be the first time I've seen a Team Plasma Grunt use one of these. Yeah, still so many Grunts, so hard to remember really, what they each use. But anyway, this thing just set up 2 layers of Toxic Spike, so I better not switch now, otherwise I'm gonna get, and I don't have any poison types to remove it, so, anything of mine that switches in is gonna get badly poisoned, so, ooh, Acid Spray. That could be bad. That is a special move, so it ignores my, my Hardens, and in fact, does more damage every turn, considering... but you're still content to use Fail Slap. Anyway, it's gonna do more every turn because it harshly lowers special defense when it hits. Yeah. And you're still using Fail Slap. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna beat Dan the Rock like that. But I'm gonna have to slowly headbutt you to death. Yeah, this is how Dan wins his battles. Slow and boringly, and I might have to switch out after... Yes, I'm definitely gonna have to switch out after this, because I'm now at -4 special defense, so, yeah. Anyway, might have to, either heal or switch up. I just don't want to get, someone badly poisoned with Toxic Spike. It's just... Or I could send in, my, Pidove, who will ignore the effects of toxic spikes due to being flying. See, again, this is why... Okay, Sludge is special. This is going to hurt a lot. Alright, I'm triggering Sturdy just on one attack. I should probably get out of here. Yeah, I'll send in... Yeah, I think I should... Yeah, I'll definitely send in you, because Toxic Spikes won't work on Little, because they're flying. Now, hopefully I can get a critical hit out of this, and hopefully... Yes, okay, good, avoided the thing to switch in. I was worried about an acid or a sludge. Like that! This is going to want to carry me, isn't it? Oh, no, it's not. Oh, what? Air Cutter misses? Seriously? And this is not going to critical, isn't it? Oh, it is going to critical, it's just not going to do enough. But fortunately, I have Quick Attack. Yes, it's times like these when Quick Attack is... Oh wow, and I critical with that too? Hey, it looks like Little is finally starting to redeem herself, sorry. So, Team Plasma Grunt down after a bit of a strange battle. Are we going to have to get Grunt number 2? Oh, no, just one Grunt, okay. Let's hide out at the amusement park. Yeah, Pro tip. You shouldn't chase them unless you're really, really prepared. Especially in a playthrough like this. But as a thank you, well, as if the ability to breed wasn't enough, we get a brand spanking new shiny bicycle. Yes, finally! Now we can actually ride through the streets really fast, be awesome, and more importantly, we get to hear possibly the best bike theme in the entire freaking series. The bike theme in this game is just amazing, and oh, it's Bianca, okay. Guess we can't hear it just yet. Yeah, it does. Not quite as much as Castelia, but still. Yeah, there are a couple of places to check out, and you're checking out the one I have no interest in whatsoever. Brilliant! Yes, sadly, the one place I have no interest in whatsoever is the one place the plot demands that you visit. Anyway, I think I should head to the Pokemon Center soon. So yeah, again, this is one of my favourite places to go in the original Black and White, definitely. But if we try and head into the Battle Subway, then we get this person. She won, then she lost. What did you win? Quick Claw Guillotine? That gets everyone someday. But, if we go here, we actually get the Versus Recorder. Now, normally, I believe Generation 4 gave this to you a lot earlier. But yeah, now that we actually have this, we can actually record multiplayer battles. Not that we'll have a chance to do anything with this game. But yeah, you actually aren't able to record multiplayer battles until this point, so that's actually kind of annoying. Not that you'd have any particularly interesting multiplayer battles until this point. But anyway, let's check out the Battle Subway, which actually sports a pretty nice remix of the classic Battle Tower theme. And I love the design of this place, it's just one big sort of circle thing. So anyway, we see here we have Wi-Fi trains. That's not actual live Wi-Fi battles with real opponents. They're AI versions of other players' teams, basically. Teams real people have used. It is somewhat challenging though, at least compared to everything else. Alright, now this person lets you set your custom win, lose, and number 1 quotes for the Wi-Fi train. Basically, the AI version of you that other people will fight on the Wi-Fi train will use these quotes. Of course, you're restricted to stuff the game tells you to do, but you can actually be surprisingly creative with some of these. At least you don't have to make up your entire phrase using easy chat phrases. That was ridiculous, although that did lead to some incredibly stupid lines in the Emerald Battle Tower that were just so funny due to being so stupid. Such as, pound the thick fat on my belly drum. And when he loses, he says, my belly drum was too weak. You pretty much had to make up phrases using Pokemon moves and abilities in that game. It was pretty ridiculous. Anyway, so Super... Was that Super Double? Oh no, that's Super Double. Double trains, Super Single trains, and Single trains. Now, these Super trains you can only challenge after you've beaten the regular trains. And I'm not sure if they're locked out to you until you've beaten the Elite Four. Normally you'd think they would be, but they're actually not. Now, the annoying thing here was, I expected the IV judge to actually be there. Turns out he's not there until you beat the Elite Four. But after you beat the Elite Four, there's a guy here. He has an Ace Trainer sprite, so that's how you'll recognize him. If you talk to him, not only will he give you a rundown of the rough total of the Pokemon you show him's IVs, but he'll actually tell you what its best IV is. And he'll give you things, mainly the one description you want to watch for is, it can't be better in that regard. That means you have a 31. Now, the other cool thing about this judge, compared to the judge back in Gen 4, is that if your Pokemon has multiple 31 IVs, he'll actually tell you all of them at once, rather than you having to repeatedly talk to him and get a random one commented on. So Jacqueline seems to be adamant, which will help Pin Missile, but not Mega Drain so much. Exodia is, well, docile. That's not actually that bad. We are definitely gonna need him, though. Hungry Croc, mate, is, lonely. It's interesting. That's actually quite good, though, because it's gonna up his attack. Unfortunately, most of his ground moves are special, but we can fix that. Yes, Echartal, sorry, is, oh, wait, it does have, wait, does that thing have Wonder Skin, not Wonder, wait. Turns out it did have Wonder Skin after all, damn it. And Sandy Claws is, well, got a plus special attack nature, but at least it's not minus attack, so at least I've got, I can do Smackdown pretty decently well, and Rock Polish, which is quite good. Now, sadly, at the for the time being, I think it's time to retire a few of my Pokemon. Especially you. You, apart from your last battle, where you did admittedly redeem yourself a little bit, yeah, in the end, I've got a much better flying type for my team, which I'm going to need in a little bit. Now, of course, the next gym is going to totally demolish flying types, but still, for the time being, do I have any better water types? You see, that's the problem. Good water types are very, very hard to come by in a no-experience challenge. I definitely need Sandy Claws, though. Definitely. And that Shell Armor ability is going to protect a bit against hacks. Now, the saddest thing of all is, it looks like I'm going to give you a hero medal anyway, Mitch, because you've been so awesome so far. The saddest thing of all is, I actually think I might have to retire Dan the Mighty Dog Slayer. Seriously, Dan will be remembered as one of... I'm still not tossing out whether or not to get rid of Sork. Still pretty good Sork, but I'm actually going to need Sandile eventually. Yeah, I'm going to need a lot of different Pokemon, so I'm going to need to put Exodia back, Exodia in. Yeah, unfortunately, that Evilite I'm going to give to Exodia, but, Dan the Mighty Dog Slayer, you were awesome, seriously. Seriously, one of the best performances out of a Pokemon in this whole playthrough. Who would have thought a level 10 Rock'n'Roller would be so amazing? You are going in a hero box of your own. You are just awesome, seriously. Yeah, even though I won't be using you anymore, you will not be forgotten. You were amazing, absolutely amazing, and you deserve you've earned your retirement. So, yeah. Later on, I'll fill that box with other particularly heroic Pokemon that perform incredibly well in this challenge. Now, do I use Jacqueline or not? Probably not, because we've already got a Grass type in our party, and in this city, we'll find something to make her even better. Now, we definitely need to teach Dig to a few things ASAP. At this point, yeah, both Sandy Claws and Hungry Croc should get Dig. Yeah, get rid of Stand Attack. I can't afford to lose any of the other moves, really. They're all actually pretty decent. So, you get Dig. The joys of infinite use TMs. Although even if they weren't, Dig is usually one of the infinitely obtainable TMs in the series, so anyway. And hey, Darumaka can learn Dig. That's actually going to hit pretty hard given that Hustle ability. Although it is a bit annoying if you do the first Dig turn only to come up and miss. Yeah, wasting 2 turns for nothing. That's incredibly annoying. But when it does hit, it's going to hit pretty hard, and I want to put Dig on as many things as possible for the next gym. So, yeah. Now, Rock Tomb, okay, yeah. Sandy Claws already has a better Rock move. But, I guess, Hungry Croc would like to make use of this. Now, Embargo, yeah, I'll get rid of that. At one point I was tossing up still keeping it, because Embargo does stop gym leaders from using those annoying Hyper Potions. But, yeah, it's very, very situational. Actually, Thief might not be a bad idea for Sandile, given that it'll get stabbed. You know what, I'll give you Thief. And it might help in yoinking some of Alessa's berries. That could be helpful. But still, I'm mostly doing this for the stab. Although you've already got... Yeah, he's already got Assurance, but Assurance requires you to go second. And sometimes I probably won't really want that. Wait a minute. No, that's Payback. Sorry, I keep mixing up Payback and Assurance. It's because very few people actually do use Assurance. Yeah, Assurance is the one that requires them to have already taken damage this turn. And, Darumaka can learn Work Up. I mean, as if it even needs the attack boost. But just for extra overkill, I'll put it on. And an excuse to get rid of Uproar. Yeah, Darumaka's not good with special moves. So anyway, like I was saying, yeah, Assurance requires them to have already taken damage that turn. Before it actually, does any, no, I don't think, Rustle's worth it. Before it actually doubles in power. So, it's really good if you've got, like, Spikes or Stealth Rock. Yes, it's really good if you've got Spikes or Stealth Rock set up. Just be warned that if you do have Stealth Rock set up, I'm gonna hunt you down and destroy you. Anyway. Okay. Oh, yeah, good. I need to give this Soft Sand to someone. Oh, and I need to give this Evilite to Exodia. Because, yeah, this thing is a freaking tank with Evilite equipped. Seriously. And then that's not even, counting in, Will-O-Wisp. Yeah, that thing becomes an absolute physical behemoth. And on level 22, yeah, it's actually gonna last me as my main tank for quite some time. So, yeah, it's actually pretty amazing. Not only that, but it kills other Pokemon's abilities just by touching them. So, with the team all updated, let's go and check out the rest of Nimbasa City, starting with the thing closest to us, the Battle Institute. Now, yeah, this place, despite the fact that you can actually go in here and try out the battle test... okay, that's, isn't that just advice for any kind of battle? Anyway, if you talk to this guy... Oh, okay, so you can actually do the battle test now. Yeah, in Black and White 2, they made it so that this whole building is locked out to you until after the Elite Four. Yeah. Alright, and riding to Anvil Town, that's the one platform of the Battle Subway that doesn't actually take you anywhere. And, okay, this right here is actually kind of interesting. You see, fans use the term shiny Pokemon to refer to alternate colored Pokemon since the beginning. It's only recently that the term actually became officially canon. It is actually definitely canon now. So, and this guy is going to give us something interesting, a Stunstone. So yeah, so basically, yeah. Shiny Pokemon is one of those fandom terms that eventually became canon. Coincidentally, another one of them is Evolution. Yeah, Evolution was a fandom term. Eventually it became canon, and I think a Pokemon Ranger game. So, that's, yeah, interesting. But, more interestingly to us, is this guy just gave us a Sunstone. We actually have a Pokemon that can evolve via Sunstone on us right now. And there's no reason for us not to use it, seeing as its entire moveset is basically all we'll ever need at this point. So, time to evolve, Lily into... this thing! A Lilligant. And yeah, at the time I did this, I had no idea that later on, Lilligants would come to, signify something special for me in this playthrough, let's just say. I didn't know this at the time. You'll find out later, trust me. But anyway, now, evolved, only level 15 though, but still actually has decent stats for this point, just really paper-thin defenses, so... guess we'll kind of treat her as a glass cannon. But anyway, so, she's evolved and she's now, looking all elegant and stuff, just in time for, something. Well, speaking of which, you probably already know, what that's in time for. But anyway, I guess that kind of makes sense. This place is generally home to a lot of things that the player will more likely do voluntarily than be forced to. And this guy will just give you a free HM strength. So, you don't actually need, gym badges to use this one. And, we'll actually be able to put it to use right on the next route. Not only that, but strength itself is actually quite a useful HM. Especially now, and in a playthrough like this, when you rely on TMs and HMs to teach you good moves. Oh, okay. Wow. Seems it's actually quite happy with me. So yeah, the Soothe Bell, I think doubles the rate at which a Pokemon gains happiness if it holds it. But that's useful for Pokemon that evolve via happiness, but since that requires leveling up, we're not going to be able to do that in this challenge. Yay! So, anyway, like I was saying, Strength, being an 80 base power, perfect accuracy move, it's actually not bad. It loses out to max power return, but in a playthrough like this, where you constantly have to shuffle your Pokemon around and get them out of your party, you're actually very unlikely to hit max power on return, so... Oh, damn it. So, just as I was about to check out the big stadium and small court, I didn't realise that plot will take you hostage the moment you pass this one bush here. Unfortunately, you see, I was going to check out the two places that actually interest me, the two places that I actually love to get sidetracked on. Unfortunately, Bianca's going to drag us to the one place I did not want to go under any circumstances. Oh, why did you have to take me here? Oh... no, it really isn't. Oh, please get me out of here. Oh, dear. Uh-oh, this is gonna be bad, isn't it? Please, Bianca's the one who brought me here. I did not come here of my own free will. Please talk to her. I do not want to do that to my Pokemon. Please, they do not want to embarrass themselves like that. Oh, no, please. Okay, I feel a quote from Turnabout Storm was appropriate here. I feel my masculinity going. Anyway, do I really have to? Now, this is one incredibly irritating part of the game. At this point, you are actually literally forced to pick one of your Pokemon and make them embarrass themselves in public. You're actually forced to do this. So, good thing I have Lilligant, because I don't think any of the other Pokemon on my team would appreciate this. Welcome to Ridiculous Girliness Central. So, we basically just have to use the touchscreen to dress up this thing with props. Now, if I was feeling particularly funny, I would give this thing a grass skirt, even though technically she already has a grass skirt. But anyway, that kinda looks alright. Now, the props only, like, slot into very specific spots on the Pokemon, and as a result, they can look really weird on some things. Like, they can cover your eyes. See, that thing there? That bow, it's covering most of her face. Yeah. Yeah, and on the head... see, it's just kind of weird. You're like... There are these particular spots that these things just snap onto, and I guess I'll put that in the other arm. You know, come to think of it, Lilligant was almost designed specifically to be dressed up with props, given that it's got a lot of places to put them. I really don't think I need to do anything more, really. I guess I could do that. Or that. I don't know, I don't really care. Alright, let's just get this over and done with. I hope Lilligant enjoyed that, because I sure didn't. Anyway. I missed 3rd gen contests. 3rd gen contests were where it was at, seriously. Like, I'm not normally one who, goes on about how much better Pokemon was in earlier generations, but I'll make an exception for contests, because I really think 3rd gen contests were the best. 4th gen contests, they kinda, they took all the strategy out of appeals and added in stupid minigames and the other bits. And then you have this, which is just, I will admit though, there's one specific musical song that actually sounds really cool. But anyway, we actually do need to talk to a few people in here, sadly enough, because we actually have a TM to pick up here. And we get TM echoed voice. I suppose you could make some gimmicky strategies centering around this in double or triple battles. Basically the power gets doubled every time it's used in the same turn. You could make some gimmicky strategies around it, but even then it doesn't work on ghost types, and I don't know, it's still not really worth it if you ask me. So, I do admittedly kind of like the origin story of the Pokemon musical. Yeah, it was just some regular theatre and suddenly a Pokemon just came on stage and, everyone was like, that's not in the script, that's not meant to be in the script, but it ended up working out fine anyway. So, yeah, is this person talking about, matching the theme with props? You see, the annoying thing is, they don't give you any accurate descriptions of which props fit which themes. So this thing here, so basically each prop has one particular thing. They never tell you what category each prop fits into, which is another reason why 3rd gen contests were where it was at. There, you got, you know, the 5 contest categories, and it's very clearly marked which Pokeblocks go with which category. So, that is really, really annoying. I find that just quite funny. It just says, I don't mean to brag, but we are incredibly rich. We have so much more money than you. Anyway, time to leave the musical and get ready for mood whiplash right now. I'm not going to talk much in this scene, because this is one of the most poignant moments in the whole game, really. Especially this music. Wow, this music is just absolutely amazing. Okay, sorry I went silent, but I really didn't want to cheapen that scene. That's one of the most emotional things the Pokemon series has actually had, really. And that's as good a place as any to call this part, but before I do, there are a couple of things I want to talk about that scene, because I didn't get time during the scene itself. Just a few short things. Firstly, this line right here. Now, this sounds like a pretty stupidly obvious moral in the West. This is actually pretty revolutionary by Japan standards, however. So, this is another instance of cultural differences kind of bleeding through into the game. I probably don't have time to talk about this exactly in the video itself, but suffice to say, this is actually quite a revolutionary idea for Japan. Next we have this line. Now, I'm sure that this was obviously heavily implied by the game itself, and most players would have guessed this before actually seeing this line. But yeah, it's stated that Bianca's father was a trainer who travelled in the past, and it's implied that something kind of happened to him on his journey in the past that caused him to be so overprotective of Bianca. It's never explicitly stated what that was, though, or what exactly happened, but again, the implication is that he had some bad experience happen to him on his journey then, and that's why he's like this towards Bianca. But that's not quite what I wanted to talk about. This whole idea of Bianca's father having been a trainer in the past, the anime actually took this in quite an interesting direction. Now, normally I just downright despise the anime, but in this case, I actually might want to talk a little bit about this, because I actually think it was quite interesting what they did with the whole Bianca's father scene. So firstly, in the anime, we get to see a closer idea of what Bianca's father actually looks like, outside of him just having a generic sprite in the games themselves. I kind of like what they did here. They sort of kept what the generic sprite sort of looks like, but also made him kind of unique in his own way. So, yeah. Now, the way that Bianca's father bit goes in the anime is slightly different. Bianca's father actually runs into her at Elesa's gym itself. He goes on the same thing about wanting her to go home because it's too dangerous and stuff, and basically the same thing that happens in the games with Alessa coming in to interrupt, essentially. Except, here's where things get interesting. He then agrees to make a compromise with Bianca, though, or at least Bianca gets him to agree to something. He lets Bianca at least battle Alessa once. If she loses, she has to quit her journey and come home. Naturally, that's exactly what happens. In fact, she more than just loses, she gets completely swept by Zeb Striker. Yeah, that is downright embarrassing. So after this, she agrees to her father's proposal and decides that, yeah, she basically has to uphold her end of the deal and come home. But, naturally, Ash objects to this, and he ends up agreeing to battle Bianca's father, and if he wins, then she doesn't have to go back home, trying to prove his point, yeah. And then Bianca's father does this. Turns out, back in his day, he wasn't just some random trainer, he'd actually earned the nickname Red Meteor. So, yeah, and he gets a dramatic costume change to accompany it. So anyway, they battle, but Bianca's father has one more condition. If Ash loses, he has to return to his hometown. Now, when I first read that, I practically rejoiced, as this would make the show so much better. Seriously. He may be one of my most hated protagonists in all of everything. I could spend a whole video on how much he fails, but I won't go into that here. So, yeah, again, I would be rooting for Bianca's father in this case. And in this case, he sends out a Darmanitan and actually completely destroys Ash, surprisingly enough. One of the few cases of the anime actually getting the strengths of evolved Pokemon right. So, basically, Ash gets totally destroyed, but for some reason, Bianca's father still has a change of heart anyway, and agrees to let them both continue on their journeys. Damn it! So, yeah, they expanded on his role quite a bit, which I found kind of interesting. But there's something quite amusing to go with all that. Despite them expanding his role quite significantly, they still didn't give him a name. Just like in the games themselves, he still goes by Bianca's father, and nothing else. That's really weird. I guess I should take a brief time out to talk about Bianca's father's appearances in a few other canons. In Pokemon Special, apparently the backstory with him was that he often forbade Bianca from doing practice battles when she was a kid with her friends Charon and Black. And apparently at one point, he actually caught them having a practice battle with his own Pokemon, and yeah, well, suffice to say, he was pretty pissed off about that. In that continuity, he has a Stoutland and Unpheasant. Yeah, not quite as interesting as the Darmanitan, but still, So yeah, each continuity has its own interpretation about, you know, who exactly Bianca's father is, what he was like, what happened on his journey. Well, actually, not a lot of them go into that at all, but the reasons why he's so overprotective, generally. And the games themselves leave it mostly up to the player's imagination. So, maybe you could post your thoughts. I mean, what do you think happened on Bianca's father's journey that caused him to be so disillusioned with the whole thing? And with that, I think it's about time to leave you for this video. Next time we'll finish up the stuff that we couldn't do in Nimbasa because we got hijacked by stupid plot. And we head to another little side area nearby. So, see you then.